Gina Villiotti Madison, Executive Director of NASH Knowledge, and I'm coming to you today from my home office. At NASH Knowledge, we are a 501c3 nonprofit that's focused on raising awareness and providing education of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. This is a growing silent epidemic because the symptoms are usually silent, and it's growing in such striking numbers. 10% of kids today have a fatty liver, and that is because we eat so much more processed food today, and there's so much added sugar into food. And this has been, growing on my mind. I'm getting better with my kids, but I'm not perfect. But this message is really for parents, for grandparents, for anyone who works in the school system, or anyone who cares for children and is responsible for what they eat or they drink. So earlier this school year, my daughter was coming home almost daily with her lunch. She was buying these in her lunch pretty much every single day at school. And one day it just struck me, this is not probably a good thing. So I decided to look at the label. If you can see that there, 51 grams of sugar. 51 grams of sugar in this one drink, this single serving. And of those 51 grams of sugar, 50 grams of them are added sugar. The average kid is supposed to have 24 grams of sugar in a day. And what we're finding today is that kids are consuming 5 times that amount in a day, 5 times that amount. So why is that scary? That is scary because your liver metabolizes sugar the same way that it does alcohol. So we're seeing such a rise in cases of non-alcoholic cirrhosis, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and it can be stopped by simply turning to water. So what did I do for this? Instead, I send my daughter to school with water. Sometimes I'll put those little drops of water flavoring because she loves lemonade. Sometimes I'll buy the 0 sugar lemonade, but that's still honestly not a great option either. But it's better than 51 grams of sugar in a single drink. She was buying these every single day at school. And the reason why I'm coming to you with this message today and why this is so timely is because this morning, my kids found my hidden stash here of these Nutri-Grain bars and these Pop-Tarts. I had these boxes in my pantry kind of hidden in the very top in the corner, and my son found them. I had them there because I use them when I go and do presentations, and I'm talking about sugar consumption in kids and, healthy snacks and what you should eat and what you should not eat. So my son pulls these out, and these Pop-Tarts in and of themselves have 30 grams of sugar. 30 grams of sugar, and that is for 2 of them. So, you get them in the little silver packages. That's 2 of them. And all of those are added sugars. Those are added sugars. 30 grams. That's more than a child should consume in one day in just one little sitting of Pop-Tarts. And then there's the Nutri-Grain bars. These Nutri-Grain bars, a little bit better, but they're still not great. They have 12 grams of sugar. 12 grams. And all 12 of those are added sugars. And the reason I'm bringing this up today is because, my kids were begging me to have a Nutri-Grain bar for breakfast this morning, and I kept telling them no. And you know what they said to me? They said, well, they give these to us for breakfast at school or snacks at schools when we have half days. So they have to be healthy because they're giving them to us at school. And that's when it dawned on me that there is an education problem. I knew this, but it just really hit home for me this morning that there is an education problem out there about the foods that we eat and the drinks that we consume. And people know, yes, you should eat healthy and this and that, but it starts in the home. It starts by voicing our opinions and voicing these concerns at schools. I know there's a lot of work being done within the food industry as well, but I'm coming to you today as a leader at a nonprofit organization that's just really focused on raising education and providing awareness. I'm not here, for policy or, advocacy from that regard. I'm just here simply as a mom myself to get this information out there because there's a lot of people that aren't aware of this. I mean, before my kids were school age, when they went to daycare, before my dad even got his fatty liver disease, before we knew anything about this, I would send my kids to daycare and they would often give them Nutri-Grain bars. I would often grab Pop-Tarts or Nutri-Grain bars on the go because I thought, hey, it's not too bad. I knew it was, it's not as good as an orange. I knew that, of course, but I thought, this isn't too bad. bad. And, it's just a common snack, a common food that we give our kids that is literally killing them. It is affecting their livers in such a detrimental way. 10% of kids have fatty liver disease, and that's continuing to grow. And it's just something that I just want to raise awareness about. And maybe, this video will just make you stop and think twice about what you're putting in your kids' mouths, what they're drinking. Water is always the best. Water is always the best. And I'm, as I said, I'm a mom myself. I'm working hard on fixing, getting better with my own kids, drinking more water and less of the other drinks, or at least substituting with the zero sugar options, which still aren't great. Those are still not great, but they are better than these drinks that are just loaded with sugar. So I hope you found this message helpful. Again, I just really felt compelled to come on and share this today and share my own personal story about what we're going through in my house and just the things that I'm learning and finding.